For me, the contest of the week, no doubt, was the very first game. Two of the giants of IPL history in Chennai Super Kings and Mumbai Indians going head-to-head in the very first game, and Chennai coming up trumps.
The contest of the week for me is Cummins against Warner and Bairstow. Saw it live. We all know what a quality performer Pat Cummins is, but to come up against two really good players in decent form on a fairly good pitch and then not letting him get away at all was the contest of the week for me.
Punjab versus DC, because so early in the competition, if we can have a super over, it has to be the contest of the week.
I've got to go with an individual contest. That was MI versus Kolkata Knight Riders, when Andre Russell walked in, and you know how big a threat Andre Russell is, and Bumrah showed his class, especially after being so expensive in the earlier game. He just raised his game, and the way he bowled to Andre Russell kept him quiet and eventually got him out bowled. So that was for me just on sheer quality, the contest of the week.
As far as I'm concerned, the contest was between Lungi and Giri and Jofra Archer, that 20th over of Rajasthan Royals innings where he just took him apart. The way he hit 30 runs in that one over, I thought that was the contest to watch out for, where of course Jofra Archer came out on top.
I'm going to go with Samson versus Chawla, because Chawla had a decent first game. In fact, a lot of us were singing his praises after his initial performance against Mumbai Indians, and the way Samson took him down at Sharjah really sort of engaged and was important to the outcome of the game.
The second game itself of the contest, DC versus Kings 11, went into super over. Great watch.
KL Rahul stands out for me, the highest score by an Indian in the IPL on a ground that isn't the smallest of grounds. And just, yes, he was put down twice by Virat Kohli, that's fair. But to carry on in the manner that he did and dictate terms of the game from the start of the innings to the end of the innings, superb.
Getting 132 with that brilliance has to be the performance of the week.
KL Rahul getting that 100, that was phenomenal against RCB.
132 absolutely spectacular runs.
Lots of good performances, but the standout performance of the week for me is Chahal against SRH. For a spinner, we've seen some seamers do well so far in the tournament because the pitches have been quite flat, but for someone to make such a big impact against two set batsmen at that point while SRH were cruising tells you how good a bowler he's become in his career, and that stands out to me.
I'm going to go for Ambati Raidu in that very first game, purely again because of the quality of shots played on that particular night and the bowling opposition, and that he took on Bumrah and hit him for sixes. It's such a rare thing to see.
The performance of the week, as far as I am concerned, was that Marcus Stoinis' game on that night against the Kings 11 from Punjab. They needed only a few runs in the end, but before that he had to bat, and he hit a lot of runs in the last over, as many as 30 against Chris Jordan. And once again, when Mayank Agarwal was threatening to take the game away from Delhi Capitals, he was the one who bowled the last over, started the over poorly, but then came back strongly to defend one run in the last 3 balls, ended in a super over, and Delhi Capitals won 2 points.
One shot that had me going, and I really shouldn't be going with batsmen so often. Kumar Yadav played an inside-out over extra cover at Abu Dhabi against KKR. I thought that was a phenomenal shot. I saw it, I almost jumped out of my seat because it's not that easy to generate power inside out and hit a 6 over extra cover.
The wow moment of the week for me was Bumrah being hit for 4 sixes. Who would have ever thought he'd be hit for 4 sixes in and over from Pat Cummins?
Wow moment for me, Bumrah getting Andre Russell out. Not just bowling well to him, but the ball that got him out. We've seen Bumrah bowl off cutters or the slow ball, which is an offie. This is the first time I've seen him bowl a leg cutter. That was a special ball, and a lot of batsmen will be watchful after this.
He bowled something which I haven't seen him bowl that often, that kind of delivery, and also Bumrah getting back into form.
The wow moment for me was the way Sanju Samson batted. The game between Rajasthan Royals and the Chennai Super Kings, he in fact converted that cricket ground into a golfing range.
My wow moment was Bumrah running in. I know it was a free hit ball, but bowlers are even more sort of driven to bowl that ball well. And Ambati Rayudu walks down the pitch and sort of hits a short of clean ball for a six. So that was a wow moment.
Has to be Rahul's 6 of tailspin.
I think move of the week has to go to Anil Kumble as the coach of Kings 11 Punjab to back Ravi Bishnoi and picking him in the playing 11 because he's made such an impact already in the tournament.
Well, the move of the week, I'm going to go a little left field here. Jason Holder being picked up by SRH in place of Mitch Marsh.
The move of the week for me was Dhoni promoting Sam Curran ahead of himself because Krunal Pandya was bowling a left-hand spinner to a left-handed batsman and he took him apart and eventually won 2 crucial points for the Chennai Super Kings.
2 leg spinners by Kings 11 Punjab against RCB. Gutsy, it was well researched when you play Ravi Bishnoi and Murugan Ashwin against Kohli and de Villiers. They only ended up Ashwin getting AB de Villiers, but I thought it was an excellent ploy.
MS promoting Sam Curran up the order against Mumbai. Purely from the move point of view, it was very crucial and very important innings for CSK.
Well, the move of the week for me was again Jasprit Bumrah being held back by Mumbai Indians. He only bowled 1 over early on, but his 3 overs were kept specifically to target Andre Russell, and it was successful.
Surprise of the week for me is Sam Curran's performance. Has had a couple of good cameos with the bat, but his bowling in particular. These are not exactly wickets which are conducive or conditions conducive to seam bowling. So that makes his performance even better in a couple of high-scoring games for CSK.
It's not a tactic that worked positively, but one that I want to see being used going forward. I'm a little bit disappointed to see Virat Kohli not maybe, if not opening the batting, but coming at 3 every time at worst.
The surprise that it caused all of us at the time was Rituraj Gaikwad for CSK walking ahead of Mahendra Singh Dhoni in a run chase.
Surprise of the week was Steve Smith opening the batting for Rajasthan.
Surprise of the week for me was Mayank Agarwal not coming out to bat in that super over because he scored 89 runs in that innings. If he had come out to bat, maybe the result could have been different.
The surprise of the week for me was 2 full tosses and no runs. Chris Jordan and Mayank Agarwal both getting out to 2 full tosses.
Well, the earth swallow me moment would be Virat dropping his second catch, Rahul's. And you can actually see that on his the reaction on his face as well after dropping the second one.
Has to be Virat Kohli dropping 2 catches. You rarely see him make an error in the field.
Forget about us saying that it's an earth swallow me moment. I think he himself would be conceding or would be thinking at the time, earth swallow me.
I never thought that I will actually see Virat Kohli grassing 2 simple catches in the deep. It was not expected at all.
The earth swallow me moment of the week for me is Nicholas Pooran. 2 ducks that he got, that too in a T20 game. Tough day, that particular one for him, and that's the moment for me.
3 balls, 1 run to win. Stoinis bowling to Mayank Agarwal, and then you end up not winning that game, probably losing it in the super over. Probably the moment